Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to That Park Place Midweek Magic with Marv and Vash. I am the aforementioned Marv. I am Marvin Montanaro, the editor-in-chief of a little website called That Park Place. And joining me, as always, from the Vash Sky Park cast, the one and only theme park expert himself, Mr. Vash Sky.
Hello there. Thank you so much for having me on, Marvin. It is amazing to be talking about these theme park stories. There's so much going on in the theme park world. I always
really
say
is.
that every single week, but there really is. I mean, it's just too much to pack together. In fact, I even had to go live on a special outing earlier this week, Marvin, because Fast and Furious soft open out of nowhere. It was all wild. It was all crazy. But thank you so much for having me on.
Universal does not announce these things the way Disney does. They're just kind of like, yeah, show up, maybe something will happen.
Yeah.
But I actually have to get my butt over to Universal at some point this week because I really would like to do a vlog about the fact that we're building the Halloween Horror Nights sets right now. Like they're starting to rise up. They're starting to become a thing. And I would like to do that because also, Vash, I got a new vlogging camera.
Ooh.
I got one of those little like handheld cameras that like, it's on the gimbal already and it connects to your phone, but it's not using your phone. So I'm very excited to try that out because like I've just like tried it out around the house and it seems pretty cool. You can even live stream from it. So probably going to try to live stream quite a bit from the parks using it.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. I've seen some really great results from people. I think like back in the day, Adam the Woo used to use a camera very similar to that in order for to record his vlogs and so forth. So a lot of great tools out there for content creators. I can't wait to see your footage there, Marvin. Awesome.
Yeah, it's like 120K camera. So like 100 or 120 frames per second, maybe, or like it's definitely like 4K, like crazy good quality camera, so it should be pretty good. I'm very excited for it. So we shall see here and on Park Hoppin' and on the M4 Empire. It should be fun. But Vash, we have got a lot to talk about today, but before we do that, we do have a super chat to get to from our friend Juliet for £2 this afternoon. That Park Place in chat. Good afternoon, Juliet. It's good to have you here. Thank you for being one of our wonderful mods here. We love the wrenches here on That Park Place. Nobody said anything about my Tony Stark glasses yet, and I'm like,
I was gonna bring those up, and I didn't want to suggest anything that I didn't like them or whatever, but I actually do like those, Marvin. You do look stylish in them.
Thank you. I try, and I can order a drone strike. So I actually watched Spider-Man Far From Home last night because I'm trying to. So going through all of like the Peter Parker movies in the MCU. So Civil War, then Homecoming, then Infinity War, then Endgame, and then Far From Home and No Way Home, because I am seeing Spider-Man Brand New Day tomorrow at 1 p.m. So should be pretty fun.
Fantastic.
I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for this movie. I have not been excited for a Marvel movie since Spider-Man No Way Home.
I've heard some incredible things. I will say, stuff about maybe perhaps some
what?
Cameos and so forth, and different characters. And apparently, there's so many villains in here. Should be phenomenal.
Yeah, I am. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes. But guys, we have got to get. Oh, it would help if I had the first story queued up. Vash, where do you want to start today? You want to start in the world of Disney? You want to start in the world of Universal? Where should we start? You know what? I'm thinking maybe we start with some perks that are ending at Walt Disney World, because that is one of those things that we do love to talk about here on That Park Place. So got that set up. Let's get into our launch story without any further ado. The Walt Disney Company is cutting 10 Walt Disney World perks this week for annual pass holders. Not cast members. The cast members are cutting the perks for that. You get what I'm saying. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place, guys. Here we go. More perks being cut. Now, these were temporary perks. These were Disney launched a 2026 edition of the VI Pass Holders Summer Days event on May the 1st. Now, this was a summer celebration bash. Of course, this article is coming to us from Disney Food Blog by Brian Del Pozo. So the summer celebration offers limited time offerings and perks just for pass holders across the resort, including merchandise, spaces, and big savings on dining. However, these are about to disappear on July 31st. Starting off with restaurants, there will no longer be these major discounts. For the entire summer, you were able to get 20% off at Be Our Guest Restaurant, the Crystal Palace, 40% off Beer Garden, Coral Reef, Garden Grill, Hollywood and Vine, Tiffin's, Tusker House, Boat Rights, Cape May Cafe, Toledo, and Whispering Canyon Cafe. Wait a minute. I ate at Beer Garden. It was lunch only. Okay. I was like, did I not get this 40% off discount? Did I like not know and not think about it?
Uh-oh.
But it was just for lunch only. I believe I had dinner there. Jay and I had dinner there.
Oh.
And it was it was actually really good. I have not eaten there in like 10 years and ended up really enjoying it. But also disappearing, Vash, is this exclusive pass holder popcorn bucket with art from designer and illustrator Ashley Taylor that was available at City Hall Popcorn Cart at Main Street in Magic Kingdom, World Celebration Popcorn Cart in Epcot, and Chuck Renati, the popcorn cart between the Hollywood Brown Derby and the Little Mermaid, a musical adventure at Hollywood Studios, and the main stage cart located in the marketplace between World of Disney and Ghirardelli Soda Fountain and Chocolate Shop at Disney Springs. Other merchandise departing includes an exclusive Woody and Buzz pass holder magnet. I think I got that one. That was at Epcot's Creation Shop. Exclusive VI pass holder merchandise, including a Zip-Up hoodie, a tee, a Loungefly crossbody bag, a baseball hat, a Corkscrew canteen. An exclusive pass holder tumbler featuring artwork from Joey Chu. Exclusive food will also be disappearing, including the Mickey chocolate cake pop with Werther's original caramel and Epcot's caramel couche. I think I say couche or couche, or I don't know. I don't speak German. Exclusive Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company beverages at each of the 4 theme parks in Disney Springs, including the Lucky Star Cold Brew at Magic Kingdom, Parisian Pebble Cold Brew at Epcot. Oh man, I wanted to try that too, because there's like fruity pebbles in like coffee. Rockin' Cold Brew at Hollywood Studios, Forbidden Mountain Cold Brew at Animal Kingdom, and the Cinnamon Crunch Latte at Disney Springs. Finally, the lounge in the Morocco Pavilion that served complimentary. Wait, this was a thing? That served complimentary snacks and drinks and offered an exclusive photo pass magic shot. An exclusive meet and greet at the Magic Eye Theater will vanish when the VI pass holder days come to a close. That was a thing?
I've never heard of this before. You're
telling me
quite bizarre.
I was sweating my butt off at Epcot, I could have gotten into a pass holder lounge that had complimentary snacks and drinks?
I know there was an annual pass holder lounge. I just didn't know about the details of it. So that's really interesting.
No one ever thinks to look for these things, Vash, because Disney never does them, right? They had a pass holder lounge one year in the America Pavilion at the second floor of the American Adventure, but then the last time they did it, it was literally just a roped off section of the Sunshine Seasons restaurant. So it was like I never even bothered to go to it because it's like, this is dumb. You're just out in like the open. So yeah, I did not know that the Morocco Pavilion had this. I don't typically like go deep into the Morocco Pavilion, especially after they've like gutted all of like the brilliant tile mosaic art. Turned it into plates that you could buy at Target.
Right.
On August 1st, all of these perks, treats, discounts, and goodies disappear as the 2026 VI Pass Holder Days celebration ends. Now, these are decent perks, Vash. The Pass Holder Lounge is probably the best perk of them all. These are some good discounts, but these are not like the pass holder perks that you used to be able to get for going to Disney, especially during some of these festivals. I don't know if you remember, Vash, but there were some really good things that annual pass holders were able to get back in the day. And we're talking about wine glasses, engraved cutting boards. I think I got a coaster sets. There were gifts that you would be able to get. So the first time you would go to, like, let's say Food and Wine, you would get a small gift, like a magnet or something like that. The 7th time that you would check in, you would get this like exquisite gift. And that was wonderful. Like, that was back when they actually cared about keeping their pass holders. They don't care about that anymore, though, Vash. VI pass holders, I mean, like, outside of like the lounge, which, I don't know how big or small that was. but it certainly wasn't. There was no signage or anything for it that I saw when I was walking through Morocco. They don't really do much for APs anymore, and we're always hearing about when perks show up, they are typically temporary.
Right. Yeah, I think back in the day, I think it used to be a little bit more competitive, right? Disney was having to compete with Universal, with SeaWorld, with all these different places for that annual pass holder population right there. And so, you'd have different perks associated with it in order to sign up and be a member and obviously pay the annual fee, but also to engage in all the services and amenities that Disney had to offer right there. But as time has gone on, obviously Disney doesn't have necessarily a loyalty problem. So what do you do in that case? Well, obviously, knowing the Walt Disney Company, if you can get away with doing less, then that's exactly what they're going to do. So you can see that kind of mentality play out in multiple ways. Obviously, the Castle Dreamlights, for example, right? We talked about how for a season those went away, but everybody still showed up. Very similar mentality where it's like, okay, well, if we can actually get away with not offering these perks, right, and people still sign up or people still actually enroll into the annual pass holder program, then why simply offer them when we can maximize revenue margins and reduce operating costs?
Why buy the cow when you're already getting the milk for free?
You didn't. Well, of all the cheap, lousy ways to save a buck.
But yeah, Vash. When you go to Universal, they do have an all year round pass holder lounge over at Islands of Adventure. It is in the Toon Landing section of the park, and it's great. I mean, you don't get like free stuff in there or anything like that, but it is a great place to get out of the heat. Over at SeaWorld, they have a pass holder lounge that is just a permanent fixture where when you go in there, there's actually a free soda fountain in there that you're supposed to use the provided cups to fill up, but everybody just kind of fills up their water bottles, which they're not supposed to do. But there are tables in there. It's air conditioned. There are TVs in there showing you different things in the parks. So it seems like every other park in Orlando treats their pass holders way better than Disney does. With Disney, you always kind of get the sense that you're a freeloader in a way.
Right.
Clear, like pass holder reservations are the first ones to fill up. So if they want to keep the pass holders out on a big day like July 4th, they just make this is why the reservation system COVID was, I think, to the C-suite, the best thing that ever happened to them, because they were able to implement all of these horrible changes and then just keep them in place, like the reservation system, stuff like that, in the name of health and safety. And then they were able to just kind of keep it going.
Correct.
Which, good Lord. I mean, like when you think about all the things you used to have, whether it was pass holder gifts, whether it was the Magical Express, whether it was housekeeping every day. Let me tell you something. I went to Southeast Game Exchange in Greenville, South Carolina last week with everybody, with, Wizard and Pro and Jonas was there, and Lorne and Culture and Sevi and so many like awesome people that we were hanging out with. Carol Brown was there as well. I stayed at a Sleep Inn across the street from the Greenville Convention Center. And you know what I got every night of my stay, Vash? Turn down service.
Well, what imagine that.
for the fraction of the cost that it would take to stay at even a Disney value resort. I got turned down service every day. At Disney, you get every other day. And by the way, at Universal, you also get every other day, because here's the thing. Disney will make these cost-cutting measures, and then, like you just said, they'll see that it doesn't impact anything. And then sometimes the other theme parks and resorts in the area will follow suit because they'll see that Disney has done it and it worked. So, okay, we'll be able to do it like that.
You didn't. Well, of all the cheap, lousy ways to save a buck.
So true.
I had to repeat that because it bore repeating. But yeah, Vash, so pass holder perks ending this week. They were always temporary to begin with. So it's not like this is like them getting rid of Magical Express or something like that. But my question is, why are pass holder perks a temporary thing?
Well, it shouldn't be. Obviously, we'd like perks to be part of the annual pass holder program as regularly as possible, right? As consistently as possible. Part of the your purchase price, let's say, having these perks included. But we just know that the Walt Disney Company, values those loyal customers simply differently. And we know that they actually, rate those consumers differently as well. Right, where annual pass holders is almost the lowliest of the low. Now it's like, okay, well, compared to ticket holders, that's a different class altogether. DVC, of course, and Club 33 memberships and everything else, right? They have these different ratings for every single guest, and so if they can get away with offering less to a consumer who is paying an annual price, right? Like I said, the cow versus the people who are paying for the milk, that being the day guest. It's kind of like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and shift our priorities towards this direction. We saw a little bit of this with Thomas Moslem, actually, during that media summit back in February, before he was actually chairman of the Experiences Division, back when he was the president of Disneyland. He was asked about the question of magic bands and whether or not they'd be expanding that service at Disneyland. He was saying, look, when it comes to Disneyland, Disneylanders with magic band, right? There were so few guests actually on the system. Could we better prioritize those resources to maximize the experience for everybody? And extrapolating that out, you can kind of see where their mentality is when it comes to annual pass holder benefits, right? It's kind of like, okay, well, if in fact we're paying this much for this subset of guests, right, who are already paying on the system and are probably likely going to pay on the system further in their lifetimes, then why don't we go ahead and apply those resources towards other, maybe incentives that we actually want to provide for our higher tiers? Maybe not so much Club 33, but perhaps like DVC, for example. I think that's the mentality. I think that's the shift, right? That's been occurring over probably the last 30 years since the annual pass holder program was actually introduced.
Yep, absolutely, guys. Well, there you have it. The annual pass holders getting perks cut yet again, temporary perks. But the question is, why are the perks always temporary?
Why, you can't open a splash mountain when that mountain ain't got no water.
No water.
No water.
No water.
I love that clip.
I love it too.
Been looking for an opportunity to use it.
Well,
we have but one opportunity to use a clip. Just a Dutchie just gifted 5 that Park Place memberships. Thank you so much, Just a Dutchie. That is absolutely incredible. That things like that give us the ability to continue to call out the Walt Disney Company for the things that it does and just charge into the room and go,
Travis Disney.
you know what? That honestly, you're also helping us improve the shape language of the channel.
And so what we've tried to do is really bring that shape language from the architecture.
But like what we love to talk about at WDI is shape language. And we often refer to shape language.
There's such iconic shape language in Spaceship Reverie Attraction. We really wanted to make sure that we fused to that throughout the space.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure. Get that shape language out there.
Yeah, we wanted to really ensure that this had some connectivity whatsoever to Spaceship Earth.
Gotta ensure the shape language, the geodesic shape language of Spaceship Earth. All right, Vash. We're going to talk about some breaking news here, because breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, in Walt Disney World, it's hot. Breaking news, everyone. It is hot in Central Florida. Yes, the temperatures do climb up in the summer. In July, it can get over 100 degrees, and that's what's happening this week. Walt Disney World and Universal hit with heat advisory for temperatures that feel like 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Vash, so this is not exact. I know I was being facetious with the breaking news thing, but like this is not late breaking news that it's hot in Florida. It has always been hot in Florida since Ponce de Leon walked off the ship and stepped foot on the shores for the first time. He looked around, wiped the sweat from his brow, and said, "Man, I wish I wasn't wearing all of these layers because it's really hot out here." That's a direct quote, by the way. But despite the fact that it has always been the case, Walt Disney World and Universal have never been empty during the summer until recent years. Now, suddenly, we all have to report on this because Disney has been using it as the excuse for why things are the way they are.
It was measuring attendance at Disney World on July 4th, which didn't really factor in temperature, which is about 100 degrees and 99% humidity on that day.
But so let's take a look at the heat advisory that just happened this week. Visitors to Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando face dangerous conditions Monday as the Orlando heat advisory remained in effect across parts of Central Florida. Forecasters warned that high humidity would push heat index values, often called feels like temperatures, as high as 109 degrees. Now, the National Weather Service issued an advisory from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. on July 27th that covered Orange, Lake, Seminole, Volusia, and northern Brevard counties. Universal Orlando Resort is located in Orange County, while most of Walt Disney World Resort is also there, although part of the resort extends into Osceola County. Afternoon temperatures were expected to reach the low to mid 90s. High humidity, however, was forecast to make conditions feel much hotter. Meteorologists said the heat index could range from 105 to 109. The Orlando heat advisory reflected another day of intense summer weather across the region. Hot temperature and high humidity have combined several times this season to create hazardous outdoor conditions. The National Weather Service warned that prolonged exposure to extreme heat can increase the risk of heat-related illness. Officials urged residents to drink water regularly throughout the day. They also recommended spending time in air-conditioned buildings whenever possible. Vash, here's the thing. People have been going to Disney for 50 some odd years in Central Florida while it's hot.
Correct.
Because you would learn how to beat the heat. You would learn how to fight the heat. So I wanted to maybe give a couple of top tips for people that are visiting in the summer as to how you can beat the heat in Walt Disney World. And the first one is basically to just plan your day around air conditioning. Here's the thing, like there are certain buildings in Walt Disney World, man, where they crank it up like it is the Arctic when you walk in there. And one of those buildings is the Hall of Presidents. So I would plan for if you're in Magic Kingdom for the day and it's 109 degrees out, with that insane humidity, you plan to go to Hall of Presidents around noon to 2:00, like the hottest time of the day. That's when you want to deck into Hall of Presidents. You want to do a lot of shows. You want to do the Country Bears. You want to do, the American Adventure is a great one to do in the middle of the day because that's a 45-minute show. So there's plenty of air conditioning in Walt Disney World. You just kind of have to know where to go. And of course, there are places that you can go in to just kind of relax in the AC, like Communicore Hall in Epcot. One of the only good things about that is that it's an indoor space with air conditioning.
That's a fair point. What about the Land Pavilion?
Land Pavilion is another great one. The Land Pavilion, the Seas Pavilion. These are buildings that you can go into in the middle of the day, Vash, where you have you're in the air conditioning with plenty to do. You can go in the Land Pavilion. You could spend several hours there because you can go on Soarin', you can go on Living with the Land, you can go into that the movie that they have up on the top floor there, and you can grab a bite to eat at the Sunshine Seasons, which is one of the better quick service locations that they have at Epcot. Now, over at Epcot right now in the month of July, which is where we're in the hottest part of the summer, there is no festival going on. So that's a great time to experience the various quick service eateries that the resort has to offer because Walt Disney World Resort has to offer, because you're not, grazing around to the various booths. You're actually going in. And also the Odyssey Center is another one right there where you can go in and take a break. Epcot has multiple places where you can go inside and just get away from the heat for a little bit and relax. Magic Kingdom, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There's not really a lot of like go inside to relax places in Magic Kingdom. It's typically because you're at a show or you're at a, one of the ones that I used to always go to was Carousel of Progress, but that's closed now for the summer. That was one of my great beat the heat places. And Hollywood Studios, Muppet Vision was another one for me, which of course they've also done away with. But having booking indoor restaurants, going to places like the ABC Commissary, which by the way, ABC Commissary, highly underrated quick service restaurant in Hollywood Studios, I have to say. Animal Kingdom, probably the hardest place to beat the heat, but you got things like tough. I almost said tough to be a bug again. You got things like Zootopia, Better Together. You used to have Dinosaur. You don't have that anymore. You know, so and Finding Nemo the musical. Go and see that in the middle of the day. You know, I love Finding Nemo the musical. It's one of my favorite live shows on property.
Oh, fantastic!
So, and another thing, Disney's got 2 water parks, guys, and like they're good. They're good water parks. Like I'm not even like exaggerating when I say they're good water parks. Like go to the water parks on days that are going to be like this. Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon, especially Typhoon Lagoon, man. Like Typhoon Lagoon, it just feels like 90s Disney again because they haven't changed it since the 90s. So you know, there's just something special about Typhoon Lagoon. I don't know, man. Like it feel like you really get that classic Disney feel. But another thing, Vash, drinking lots of water throughout the day. Now, Disney is stingy with a lot of things, but they don't want you passing out in the parks. So they do actually, any place that has a soda fountain will give you tap water. They'll give you a cup of ice water if you want it. So go up and ask, they will take care of it. Now, a lot of these places now also, Vash, have the water bottle refilling stations at the drinking fountains.
Very helpful.
Do they have those in Disneyland as well?
Oh yes, we've been expanding them over the last, I would say, 5 years or so. Greatly expanding them. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I believe, was built day 1 with those water bottle refilling stations right there, which was
Galaxy's
very
Edge was
helpful
for us as well, and then Pandora was also built with them.
Ooh, okay, so that actually predates my thinking there, but yeah, Disneyland has been slowly incorporating those. Obviously, you have some aging infrastructure out there, so it makes it a little bit difficult. But they have been adding those to various locations. I would say one of the most helpful for sure, especially if you do have a water bottle that you are bringing right there. Now, again, if it's insulated, you know, obviously, if you are going on a credit coaster, you're going to have a cast member actually hold that for you on the side right there. But outside of that, Disneyland, like you said, Marvin, Disneyland or Walt Disney World, they don't want you passing out. So obviously you want to go ahead and hydrate as much as possible while trying to beat the heat going from one air conditioned building to another.
So another thing, Vash, and this is a thing that they've had forever, but there have been such amazing like advancements in it, personal cooling devices. So we're talking about like little fans and stuff like that. I have always found that those have been, a tremendous benefit to a full park day in the summer. So it used to be, I remember when I was like 12 and we were there, I bought one of the little fans from Disney and it was attached to a water bottle. And so like you would spritz your face with the water and then the wind from the fan was even cooler. Now, Vash, they've got the ones that look like headphones that like sit around your neck. And that's great. I actually just got my dad a pair of these for Father's Day because it sits around your neck and it blows cold air around your neck and head and face. And when your neck is cool, your body is cool. Another thing to get as well is the cooling towels that they have there at Walt Disney World. They sell them everywhere. There's a blue one and a pink one. So I get it, and then you wet it down with cold water. You squeeze it out so it's not dripping, and then you just put it around your neck. And it helps you out immensely in the heat.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's another pro tip for keeping cool. Another one, and this is probably my favorite one, Vash, ice cream. Disney does ice cream very well. And I'm not just talking about, first of all, you've got the premium Mickey bar and you've got the Mickey's cookies and cream ice cream sandwich. One of those is infinitely better than the other ones. I'm talking to you, Mickey's cookies and cream ice cream sandwich, because that is the go-to. But those are readily available everywhere, along with like frozen fruit pops and frozen lemonade and things like that. But I recommend going to some of the actual ice cream parlors that they have there. So I'm talking Main Street Ice Cream Parlor is a phenomenal one. You can get a really good sundae there. You can get a chipwit, like a cookie sandwich, like a cookie ice cream sandwich with like fresh baked cookies and a ton of ice cream in there. Get a funnel cake with ice cream on it. Have you ever seen what the funnel cakes with the ice cream on it look like?
I have. They look delectable, gorgeous on a sunny day.
So for those of you that don't know, it's not just like they take a couple scoops of ice cream and put it on the funnel cake. They have a giant cube of solid ice cream, and they take a knife and they cut it, and they put a slab, like a full square of ice cream, on top of your funnel cake. And it actually looks like a giant slab of butter, but it's not butter, it's vanilla ice cream. So,
Oh, fantastic.
yeah,
Wow.
it's great. And go to Anti-Gravities is another place in Tomorrowland. They have phenomenal ice cream over there. Storybook Treats over in Fantasyland, also great. Get a Goofy's Glacier from the circus tent or from the Main Street Confectionery or in Disney Springs. The Goofy's Glaciers are amazing. Do what I do and get the swamp water made, which is essentially you get every flavor of Goofy's Glacier and it just kind of turns into swamp water color, but it's absolutely delicious. The best ice cream on property, though, Vash, I'm going to give you the secret right here because it is actually a kind of a hidden thing that not a lot of people know is there.
Please.
And actually, I see they're saying it in the chat. Jeff Elms, L'Artisan de Glacier in France. They will make for you there, Vash. It's called Croque du Glacier, right? It is ice cream and then either chocolate or raspberry sauce on a fresh, warm brioche bun.
Goodness. Whoa. That sounds absolutely fantastic.
They take a freshly baked brioche bun. They cut it in half. They put the ice cream on it. They put the chocolate sauce or raspberry sauce on it. They put the other piece back on, and then they put it in a press, and they press it down so that it's almost flat.
Oh, a press.
And then they give it to you, and it's like a literal ice cream sandwich. And the warm bun and the cold ice cream is one of the best things you can get. Now, if you want to get more of an adult beverage going for you in the heat, I recommend the Grand Marnier slush in Epcot over in World Showcase. That is another good one to get. However, in high temperatures like this, I do recommend against excessive alcohol imbibing because that will dehydrate you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great tip right there because, a lot of people, they go drinking around the world in Epcot and they, underestimate just how hot it can actually get, especially with those concrete surfaces.
Days when you're sweating, that could be the killer.
Yes. Wow. That's fantastic. Oh my goodness. I think all this information actually is extremely pertinent right now, Marvin, because there have been such amazing heat advisories actually coming out of the National Weather Service and other places in Central Florida right there. A lot of people underestimate just how hot these places can get. And obviously that situation is exacerbated when you have, long lines or shutdowns and so forth, even like the water rides, right? I think a lot of people go, oh, hey, Giannis by Adventure, let's go ahead and hop on that. Well, you're going to be waiting a long time, maybe perhaps outdoors. And so you have to go ahead and keep that in mind when you're trying to go on, I don't know, Cali River Rapids, for example, or Towns by Adventure, or whatever, that you might be spending some time in the heat, even though you're trying to get cooled off with those water-based attractions right there.
Now,
that's why it might be better to go for something with an indoor queue. Even though it might not be a water ride, you might find yourself actually, being hydrated or satisfied when it comes to the heat conditions better than perhaps a water ride can offer.
In keeping with that, Vash, I would say the best rides for what you're describing, are Bowser's Challenge in Epic Universe, because it's phenomenal. It's got it's an entertaining queue and it's air conditioned. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey over in Islands of Adventure, because that is another amazing queue, which never a dull moment in that one. Over at Disney, I would say there's an outdoor section, but once you get inside, Flight of Passage has a pretty decent queue and it's air conditioned. You'll be in that for a while. But the ultimate cool down ride is Cali River Rapids, and Cali River Rapids in Disney, and Popeye and Bluto's Bilge Rat Barge in Islands of Adventure, both of which have outdoor queues though. So that is a thing to remember. Now, ice cream wise, over at Universal, they have an amazing ice cream parlor at Epic Universe that the name of it is escaping me at the moment. Hold on, I'm going to do a quick Google search because it is really, really good. I've actually never gotten ice cream from there, but my wife has, and I've tried it, and it's really, really good. Epic Universe ice cream place is Frosty Moon. That's it, Frosty Moon. It's a cool like building and place out there. Over in regular Universal proper, I definitely recommend the butterbeer ice cream over in Florian Fortescue's over at Universal Studios proper. Well, when you go into the Diagon Alley section, go to Florian's and go get the butterbeer ice cream. You will thank me. My wife really likes they have like a lavender ice cream in there as well. Oh, Emmanuel, those are just bring up Dudley Do Red's Rips Off Falls is okay. I'm going to say something controversial.
Mhm.
The best log flume in Central Florida. Or maybe it's not controversial anymore now that Splash Mountain's gone, but it always was.
You think so?
Yes. Dudley Do Red's Rips Off Falls is amazing. It's so well themed. I love it to pieces, and the drop is so good.
It's so good. It is really good. That drop is awesome. Not gonna
Did
lie.
you ever notice how like Dudley Do Red's Rips Off Falls at the end, like there's two areas for the drop? There's two
Yes.
tracks.
Yes.
You probably know why that is, but I think some of our viewers might not. Do you know why that is?
I actually don't. I'm very curious to hear why.
So
that
the
was
original
case.
concept was you were supposed to be riding in a 2x2 instead of 1x1. And when you came to the drop, there was going to be a buzzsaw that sawed
that would have split your vehicle.
That sawed your
hearing
vehicle
about
in
this.
half. Yeah. And that was when Deadly was going to split. They couldn't figure out how to make it work though, or it was too expensive. So they kept it. So it's still built into the design, but yeah, it didn't happen.
Oh,
what
such
a cool
great
idea that would have been.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's amazing. Obviously, it would have been very, very difficult to do that, especially in the late 1990s when that was being developed right there. But I always looked at that.
Very ambitious.
That double track. I was like, why is that there? I think I remember hearing about the buzzsaw thing, but now you actually relay that. I mean, oh my goodness gracious, that would have been absolutely fantastic right there. Oh. Great stuff.
Also over in Epic Universe, they've got Fire Drill over in the Isle of Burke, and that's a great water attraction where you'll get wet. So plenty of ways to keep cool, guys. And this is the thing. People are staying away from Walt Disney World and Universal in the summer months now, which means it's the perfect time to go. Which means as long as you know how to beat the heat, which now all of you do, you'll be able to experience far lower lines. You'll be able to save money on expensive Lightning Lane and Express Pass, and you'll be able to maximize your day like never before. And just remember when you do, and you're eating that ice cream and you're going on those water rides and you're keeping cool while everyone else is sweating, just remember you learned it from that park place. Those are the segments I live for. Like I love like the planning segments that we do. I know they're not the most like, controversial or like, fascinating ones, but I think that those are like really our bread and butter. But Vash, we have actually some breaking news right now. Central Florida is still hot. No, I'm kidding. There is actual breaking news. The final house has been announced for Halloween Horror Nights 35. And it is exactly what I said it was going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, the final house has been announced, and it is going to be Ozzy Osbourne, Prince of Darkness. I'm so
absolutely
excited.
Memoirs of a Madman. Oh my goodness gracious, Marvin! I am super excited for this. When it was teased and rumored all those months ago, I was like, "Oh man, if it's Ozzy, if it is Ozzy, that's going to be absolutely awesome." Oh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I've been hearing that it's Ozzy for a few months now from some of my sources, and then there was a Pandora ad that accidentally went out a couple weeks ago that actually revealed that it was going to be Ozzy. So everyone was just kind of waiting for it. It was just a matter of time. But I'm going to read from you Universal's official press release, which I have in my email, so I can't put it up on the screen. But Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights pays tribute to pioneer heavy metal icon Ozzy Osbourne in an all-new original haunted house, Ozzy Osbourne, Prince of Darkness, inspired by his prolific solo career. Guests can so it's not Black Sabbath. Guests can anticipate a wild ride as they climb aboard the crazy train for a terrifying trip through the disturbing world of rock and roll, beginning Friday, August 28th at Universal Orlando Resort and Thursday, September 3rd at Universal Studios Hollywood. Developed as a living horror movie through the lens of Halloween Horror Nights, this non-traditional memorial to Ozzy Osbourne will span 45 years, transporting guests on a twisted journey through the artist's outrageous and eccentric solo career in unique experiences across both coasts. Music from Ozzy Osbourne's solo albums will guide guests through Ozzy Osbourne, Prince of Darkness, including The Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman, Bark at the Moon, No More Tears, Scream, and Ordinary Man. That actually really surprises me. Like, no Mr. Crowley, no Crazy Train, no Iron Man.
Yeah, well,
Like,
Iron Man would
really
be
shocking.
Iron Man would be Black
Sabbath.
Sabbath.
That's Black
Right.
Sabbath,
So I think
right.
it's under another licensing deal. I think Tony Iommi still owns the rights to the band, I do believe. But it kind of makes sense. You got to think, right? It's Halloween Horror Nights. So
Yeah, probably all. I
does-
bet you all of those songs were Black
Oh,
Sabbath.
right. There's some fantastic stuff right there. No More Tears. I could definitely see that. Bark at the Moon.
Yeah.
I think that's
Diary
like
of a Madman,
absolutely.
yeah. Blizzard of Oz.
Dire
I love.
Madman for sure. Right. So you think of the lineup and you go, okay, like what would I want for Halloween Horror Nights specifically? I think that makes sense. Obviously, would love Crazy Train, but it doesn't necessarily fit the theme, the vibe, the aura, the atmosphere. Let's go ahead and see what they can do with those. Ordinary Man was actually quite surprising. Very sentimental, obviously, and probably fitting for a conclusion for the house, but I was actually surprised by that.
I think Crazy Train is actually it looks like the houses are different based on the coast.
Oh, are they? Please go
At
ahead.
Universal Studios Hollywood, the haunted house transports fans to where it all began in Birmingham, England, home to John Michael Ozzy Osbourne. Starting with Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne's most famous song. So the Crazy Train is in there. Guests will travel through time from his early childhood to the Osbourne album, inspired by his iconic album Diary of a Madman. As they weave through the decades, the unique iterations of Ozzy's persona will come to life, from Madman Ozzy and Werewolf Ozzy to the Prince of Darkness, the moniker here into the 1970s. At Universal Orlando, Halloween Horror Nights guests will venture through ancient ruins and foreboding dungeons before boarding the Crazy Train for a twisting ride into a realm inspired by the covers of his fan favorite albums, Diary of a Madman, Bark at the Moon, The Ultimate Sin, and Black Rain. Ruled by the Prince of Darkness' fantastical world draws from the heavier sound and sinister imagery that defined the later years of Ozzy's career, transforming that creative evolution into a horrific journey through his unmistakably twisted imagination. So they're doing that thing that they do sometimes where the houses on both coasts tell a complete story. They did this previously, Vash, with the Universal Monsters house, where it was different based on which coast you were on.
That's really, really interesting. Okay,
Hollywood sounds way better.
I think if you're an Aussie fan on either coast, you're going to be satisfied. But some of them might have certainly their attributes that are going to be perhaps well sought out, one over another. Depending on what era of Aussie fan that you actually are. This is absolutely fantastic, Marvin. This is absolutely outrageous. Oh, I was so excited to get the Prince of Darkness in there. I think you just fit the brand. I think it just fit everything quite well right there. Obviously, Ozzy being a trendsetter with like Ozfest and the original Black Sabbath.
Oh man, Ozfest! I forgot about Ozfest.
You forgot about Ozfest? Come on,
that's
man.
a blast from the past, man. Oh, I never went to Ozfest, but my friends all went to Ozfest because concerts are not my jam. But yeah, oh man, I haven't heard about. Nobody's mentioned Ozfest in forever.
Yeah, man, it's fantastic. I think this is great. So I'm definitely going to be getting a ticket here for Halloween Horror Nights. There's no question about that. I got to see it for myself. I got to see Ozzy. I think that's going to be fantastic, and hopefully Fast and Furious. Right. I really want to go out there as quickly as possible. Certainly to see.
Yeah, take it to Epic Universe.
Yes, Epic Universe would be absolutely fantastic right there. So that's going to be phenomenal. And on the Hollywood side, hey, maybe you can actually see like Fast and Furious while you're out there. I know it's soft opening right now. Who knows when it'll actually open officially? But maybe Hollywood Drift actually coinciding with Halloween Horror Nights creates some spectacular opportunities, at least on the Universal Studios Hollywood side. And Universal Studios Florida, obviously you have so much variety in terms of the lineup resort-wide. So fantastic stuff here, Marvin. This is great.
Freedom Seeker says, Marv, no camping, no concerts. Come on, man. Yeah, neither of them. Nope, not doing it. Camping. If I wanted to live outside like a squirrel, I'd go be a squirrel, as I've said before. But as far as concerts, no, they're loud. There's other people, like they push into you. I don't want that. Very easily just listen to music at home.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point right there.
I don't, it's just not my scene, man. I don't like it at all. But Vash, we've got more Halloween Horror Nights news because we got to take a look at what they're doing over in Japan. Let's have a look.
Please.
There we go. One more for the top. Triple decker, just how you like it.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Wolf.
You enjoy it.
We will.
Halloween Horror Nights in Japan at Universal Studios Japan has announced a no kids allowed night for 2026. This is obviously going to cause a lot of discussion, Vash, and let's talk about it here today in That Park Place, because one has to wonder, is this a test to roll this out in the United States? We can discuss it accordingly, but this is not saying, and I want to get out in front of this before anyone looks at the title of the video and is like, oh no, they're doing this thing. This is a special event. This is not this is not saying kids are not allowed at Halloween Horror Nights, from what I understand. So let's have a look at this by Cham Lee from thatparkplace.com. Universal Studios Japan has announced a new overnight event as part of Halloween Horror Nights 2026. The experience is called Halloween Horror Nights All Night, and it will take place on September 25th from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. the following morning.
Whoa.
Unlike the park's regular Halloween festivities, the overnight event is limited to guests who are at least 18 years old. Halloween Horror Nights requires its own admission ticket. The standard all-night pass allows Halloween Horror Nights All Night requires its own admission ticket. So it's probably not, I don't know if they do frequent fear passes over there, but if they do, it's probably not included. The standard all-night pass allows guests to enter Universal Studios Japan beginning at 3 p.m. on September 25th. The park is also offering several ticket packages that include express pass access for participating attractions and entertainment. Man, this is so close to like Disney's old 24-hour party. Remember that?
Absolutely. Yes. Indeed. Oh man, the 24-hour party was so cool.
Yeah. According to Universal Studios Japan, though, ticket sales will begin with an advanced lottery through Lawson Ticket. General sales will take place only if tickets remain after the lottery concludes. Universal Studios Japan said the overnight event will feature many of the experiences associated with Halloween Horror Nights, along with entertainment created specifically for the all-night program. Guests can expect the return of the park's roaming street zombies, which transform sections of the park into themed scare zones after dark. The park will also present a special anniversary edition of Zombie Da Dance. This year's performance features a medley of songs from previous Halloween Horror Nights seasons to recognize the event's 15th anniversary at Universal Studios Japan. Universal Studios Japan has issued several warnings for guests attending Halloween Horror Nights 2026. The park advises visitors uncomfortable with grotesque imagery should not attend, and the event may cause fear, disgust, distress, or excessive stress. They really need to put that outside Tiana's Bayou Adventure over at Disney as well. One of the new attractions is Lights Out Nightmare Isolation. The R18 attraction will also be available during Halloween Horror Nights All Night, where it's scheduled as an overnight experience from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Participation requires guests to sign a waiver before entering, and an additional ticket is required.
Whoa.
Guests are warned they will be in a room by themselves, and they will be sprayed with liquid.
Wow.
Additionally, participants in Lights Out Nightmare Isolation must agree to confidentiality terms that prohibit sharing details about the experience through word of mouth, online posts, or social media.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. That's pretty insane.
Yep.
Waiver.
Do
Okay.
you think, Vash, that this hard ticket Halloween Horror Nights event, so it's a hard ticket event for a hard ticket event with a hard ticket attraction. Do you think they could possibly roll this out in the States? Because I honestly don't think so, especially and even with the no kids thing. We're going to talk about the no
No,
kids thing in a second.
I don't think so. I mean, I think Japan looks at horror very differently, and obviously there are local rules, customs, regulations, and so forth that kind of separate these events out right there. I don't quite see Universal implementing a waiver type system for entrance into Halloween Horror Nights at
an NDA.
Yeah, exactly. At the domestic parks, no, I don't quite think so. And the hard ticket event with a hard ticket event with a hard ticket event, I don't quite see them going down that line either. So I'm not quite sure if that's ever going to shake out. Now, I know Universal Studios, do they still have problems? At least Universal Studios, or the Universal Orlando Resort, they still have problems with neighbors and so forth and keeping the parks open very, very late. Obviously, Disneyland has that issue. Universal Studios Hollywood suffers from that issue. Does Orlando Resort suffer from that a little bit? That might
sure.
keep... Okay.
I remember hearing that they were having issues with neighbors when trying to get Celestial Goodnight created for for the parks over there. But I have not heard about anything to do with the neighbors as far as stuff like that. But it's possible. And if it's happening in California, it's probably happening here as well. So here's the thing with no kids allowed. Halloween Horror Nights is not for kids. Look, at the end of the day, like I have seen two different kinds of kids at Halloween Horror Nights. I see the ones that are terrified and traumatized, like utterly terrified and traumatized. And I see the ones that are like 10-year-olds who are horror aficionados who are like, this is the greatest night of my life. And those kids are cool. They are the coolest kids that have ever lived. But guys, like a lot of people brought their kids to Halloween Horror Nights 34 last year because of Five Nights at Freddy's. And Universal got a lot of complaints from parents because the event was so not family friendly. I mean, not even just the fact that it's terrifying and grotesque, but like there's like scantily clad like female dancers in some scare zones. Like if you go to the the stage show that they do over at the Fear Factor stage, I mean, it is like really really adult. So yeah, you really have to watch out when you bring your kids to an event like this. So something like Halloween Horror Nights all night sounds like they want it to be an all adult thing. And so obviously we have railed against Disney in the past when they do things like GO82 where they don't allow kids in because it's supposed to be a family theme park. Universal is a different beast than Disney. While Universal is a family theme park during the day, this is a hard ticket event.
Right.
This is a separately ticketed event. The problem that I have is when you are barring families from things that are supposed to be included in their daily admission in the park.
Correct.
So access to restaurants, access to lounges, things like that. That's where I have the problem. So I have no problem with them doing a hard ticket event for a hard ticket event in which they don't allow kids in, especially in Japan. Because Vash, have you ever watched a Japanese horror movie?
Yes, I have.
They are screwed up, man. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Like I watched The Grudge in America, and I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. Then I watched the thing that it was based off of, the Japanese film Ju-on. That still bothers me.
That's wild.
I mean, like 15 years ago, there are times where like I'll be like walking through even my house at night, like in the dark, and I'll just be I'll check behind me to make sure there's not a creepy Asian kid meowing like a cat, like because like that movie was terrifying. And yes, Japanese, like Texas A412 says, Japanese horror will mess with your mind. It will. These people are crazy when it comes to horror. Like it will terrify you. And yes, Troy Gustafson, I have PTSD from Japanese horror movies. Like seriously.
Emphasis on watching Japanese horror hits different, all right? Look, I know exactly what you're talking about right there. There's a lot of psychological play with certainly Japanese horror entertainment. There's no question about that. They place emphasis on certain things that is very atraditional for Western culture or maybe Western media, and it just, like I was saying before, it hits different. There's no question about that. So I can definitely see if you're using some of that material as inspiration for your Halloween Horror Night event in Japan, that it's going to be maybe perhaps a little bit more intense, and so that's why you are seeing so many restrictions related to this event.
Vash, do you know that Halloween Horror Nights Japan actually has its own exclusive character?
Really?
Yes. Have you ever heard of Hamikuma?
No.
Hamikuma is this thing.
Oh, yes. I have seen this before.
I'm sure you've seen him before, but yeah.
Right.
So that's Hamikuma. He is the mascot of Halloween Horror Nights in Japan. He's kind of like what Little Boo is here in Orlando, except for the fact that like he has like a meet and greet and stuff like that. He did come to Hollywood last year, I will say. So Hamikuma did come to Hollywood last year. They did have him, meeting and greeting over there. He did not come to Orlando yet, though. So we have never experienced the glory that is Hamikuma in Orlando. But yes, this is like the quintessential Japanese horror thing, because it's like disturbing, but it's also cute in a certain way.
Right. I think it's pretty cute. And I can definitely see why Japan made him the unofficial mascot for this event right here, because I'm sure he sells a lot of merchandise.
Well, in Orlando, the unofficial mascot of HHN is pretty much Little Boo. And if you don't know who Little Boo is, guys, well, what have you been doing with your lives? Because you should know who Little Boo is. Little Boo is a pumpkin. So if you actually look at this article here from Orlando Park Stop, they have an article here about the origins of Little Boo, and this is Little Boo.
Oh,
that's Little Boo, and he started out as a joke during the team member previews for Halloween Horror Nights a few years ago, and became a merchandising phenomenon. Bash.
Well, fantastic. That is something I didn't quite know about right there.
You didn't know about Little Boo?
I didn't know about Little Boo. No.
Little Boo is Halloween. I have Little Boo merchandise. Like I bought my wife a Little Boo plush. So it was this jack-o'-lantern that was in I think it was in the Pumpkin Lord's house. During the team member preview, somebody snapped a picture of it just because it looked so funny, and they were like, oh, this is Little Boo on social media, and it blew up and it went viral. And so then next year there was Little Boo merchandise. And I mean, everywhere. There's Little Boo cookies, there's Little Boo shirts, there's Little Boo's plushes, there's Little Boo candles. Like, he is all over Halloween Horror Nights. The only the second year they actually put Little Boo, like they would hide him somewhere in the event. But I don't think they do that anymore. Because like last year, I painstakingly went through when they did this one scare zone where it was like the cat lady. There were all these jack-o'-lanterns in the trees, and I like painstakingly with my phone zoomed in on each one of them to try to identify where Little Boo was, but he was not there.
Wow.
I think they should have a Little Boo meet and greet. I think they should just put the pumpkin on a pedestal and let people line up to like take a picture with it. Because I think people would, especially if it's the original Little Boo.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if in fact you sell merchandise off of them, if you in fact profit off of them, in terms of food items and so forth, well, why not? Why not have a meet and greet and all of that? I think that would be absolutely phenomenal right there. I do love how these parks, especially with these kind of these operations managers or the culture that erupts from some of these events is like park specific. I absolutely love that. Lean into that for sure. There's no question about that. Really bring that
Universal
out.
fans
I think it's
love
phenomenal.
that, dude. Like they have them on Christmas too. They have Earl the Squirrel for Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Earl the
Oh,
Squirrel was in their giant Christmas tree in the middle of Universal Studios. There was a squirrel that took up residence in the tree, like a real squirrel, and people on social media named it Earl the Squirrel and said he was the new Christmas time character for Universal. And guess what? The next year, there's Earl the Squirrel merchandise and plushes and t-shirts and a character meet and greet. Now he even has a girlfriend squirrel. I don't know her name. Maybe Pearl. I don't know. But it better be Pearl. It better be Pearl or like, But yeah, Earl the Squirrel is a thing, just like Little Boo is a thing because they listen to people. So
right.
there's one thing for Halloween Horror Nights this year with kids that gives me pause that the same mistake may be made again that parents made with Five Nights at Freddy's.
What's that?
There's a Fortnite scare zone this year.
I saw that. Yeah, which I was very surprised by, Marvin, because we obviously know that I think Disney is bought in somewhat to Epic Games right there. Certainly, they've incorporated.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Right? They've incorporated Unreal Engine 5 in multiple projects, including the Pirates of the Caribbean project that we were talking about before with the projected face, and also to the new version of Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. And they've been working with Epic for quite a while. So I was surprised that the first inclusion of Fortnite in a theme park was not Disney, Universal.
Yeah, that is really weird. Like the storm is apparently going to like overcome the whole thing, and
Right.
yeah, it's going to be. And a lot of like Halloween Horror Nights purists are really against it. Like I've seen a lot of like really negative reactions about a Fortnite scare zone, and I'm like, man, it's a scare zone. Like who cares? Just don't walk through it if you don't want to go through it. Like I actually think it's a great idea. I can't wait to see what they do with it because you always need some. So here's the other thing: if you are bringing your kid or maybe an adult that doesn't like to be scared to Halloween Horror Nights, because that's the thing when they're always like, oh well, like I'd go, but I don't want to be scared. You can now buy a glowing necklace or bracelet, which is but you have to spend money for it. But yes,
Of course.
which essentially tells the scare actors not to scare you.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if they'll work in a haunted house because they come out at specific times.
I think they say on that specific item right there, because I did a story about that last year. If I'm not mistaken, they do say there's like a warning on there saying that hey, this doesn't guarantee that you won't be scared, but this certainly lessens the likelihood. And I did see some influencers abusing that, like rubbing in the scare actor's face and so forth. It was not the greatest look. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and keep down on the jump scares themselves, you could opt for that merchandise opportunity.
Yeah. I actually had an idea because I'm sure, for Park Hopping, we're going to be going to Halloween Horror Nights a lot this year. I wanted to do a thing where like you go into Men in Black and whoever gets the lowest score on Men in Black has to wear the necklace and get made fun of all night for being like, oh, fragile cargo coming through here, folks. Like that's always been a thing I've wanted to do, but I'm nowhere near like confident enough in my Men in Black skills to actually do it and be confident that I'm not going to be the one that ends up, with that. So, all right, there you go, guys. Halloween Horror Nights Japan, an all-night event, a hard ticket event for a hard ticket event. Is it coming to the United States? I personally don't think so. Vash doesn't think so. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. All right, Vash, we got a couple super chats. Ken Reinhardt for $2 says, go before they upcharge for air conditioning. Blizzard Lane Pass. You say that, Ken, as a joke, but
You didn't. Well, of all the cheap, lousy ways to save a buck.
It was measuring attendance at Disney World on July 4th, which didn't really factor in temperature, which is about 100 degrees and 99% humidity on that day.
Emmanuel Mendoza for $5 says, has that new Barbie Hot Wheels park opened up in Arizona, and have you gone there? If not, are you planning on checking it out? I have not heard about this. Pash, have you?
Yes, I have. Yeah,
The
the
Mattel theme
Mattel
park?
Park. Mattel Park in I think it was Glendale, Arizona, right there. Yeah, we've been keeping an eye on it. It has been delayed multiple times to subsequent
Oh, boy.
years and so forth, and I have stopped tracking it as closely as I did because I don't know if they're facing financial issues or whether or not it was a scam to begin with, but I'm not entirely sure that thing is even going to open ever. So a lot of people are very excited about that Mattel theme park, and it just hasn't made its way off the ground and open.
Interesting. We shall see. I mean, there's so many like IP theme parks that nobody knows about. Like in New Jersey, inside, I believe it's the American Dream Mall. They actually have a Nickelodeon theme park in there, which nobody really knows about.
Right? Yes, yes, I believe there's a Gerstlauer coaster in there. It's pretty ambitious, from what I understand.
Yeah. My one friend loves it. He says it's great. So
fantastic.
Okay, Vash, we've got another story to get to, and this one is going to be near and dear to my heart. So let's get right to it.
Can't wait.
Blah blah blah. There we go.
It's showtime! It's showtime! Straight from the heart of the park!
Well, it looks like at D23, we're going to be getting a special look at Kingdom Hearts, the a very ambitious game from Square Enix, at the time Squaresoft when it first started, and the Walt Disney Company, which at the time had Disney Interactive. So are we going to get new information on Kingdom Hearts 4, which is one of the biggest things right now in gaming that people are curious about? Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. Vash, we will be able to find out directly what's going on with this Kingdom Hearts event because we will have a man on the ground, boots on the ground, to be able to report back to us about this event specifically.
Ooh, who's it?
Yes, Culture Casino will be there. He will be reporting back. He will be letting us know everything. So this from, I apologize, it's from Polygon. I usually don't like to use their stuff, but Disney confirms this year's D23 will be a big one for Kingdom Hearts fans. There is a picture of Sora and Goofy right there, and Goofy in his battle pose. I like to say that's where he's going to yuck you up. But I digress. 2026 turning out to be a big year for Kingdom Hearts fans, with a new Kingdom Hearts collection on the way, coming out for Nintendo Switch in October. A new look at the long-awaited Kingdom Hearts 4 and a rumored Fortnite tie-in. Keyblade wielders have plenty to get excited about. Add one more thing to the list. Kingdom Hearts is getting a special deep dive at Disney's biennial fan event, D23. On Monday, Disney announced the lineup for this year's D23, which describes as the ultimate Disney fan event. Of interest to Kingdom Hearts fans is a D23 session titled The Deep Dive into Kingdom Hearts, planned for Saturday, August 15th. Now, according to the event's official description, you'll be able to join us for a journey through light and darkness as we commemorate 25 years of Kingdom Hearts. Discover how this saga united Disney, Pixar, and Square Enix with insights from the creative minds, character voices, and more behind the magic. This will take place on D23's backlot stage, which will also be home to sessions on the Disney Lorcana trading card game, Bob's Burgers, and the upcoming Bluey movie. The Kingdom Hearts franchise will mark its 25th anniversary in March of 2027, making me feel extremely old. So D23 is celebrating the role-playing game series a few months early, but the D23 event arrives at an interesting time for the franchise. Square Enix's Kingdom Hearts Collection 1 to 3 does not arrive until October, but the latest repackaging of the franchise probably isn't what fans are most hyped about. D23 may instead be an opportunity to learn more about Kingdom Hearts 4 and its new Disney-inspired worlds, which may include Sora and friends heading to Star Wars. That has been rumored for quite some time. Rumored worlds, Vash, include Star Wars, Marvel, Moana. There were a couple of other ones. Coco, I think, was one of the ones that was rumored. But D23 is also taking place just days ahead of the next season of Fortnite, and Kingdom Hearts fans are expecting the Disney fan event to reveal Epic Games' latest crossover. Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 4 is rumored to be entirely video game character themed, including bringing characters from Kingdom Hearts to the Battle Royale game. That would actually be really cool. D23 runs August 14th to 16th, a few weeks after San Diego Comic-Con, and just ahead of Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. Perhaps this will turn into the summer of Kingdom Hearts, depending on how much Square Enix has to show regarding Kingdom Hearts 4. Up next is Kingdom Hearts Collection 1, 2, 3, which is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X on October 8th. The collection includes 11 titles from the Kingdom Hearts franchise. That includes Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 Remix, which has Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 358 by 2 Days, the HD cutscene compilation. It's basically a movie. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, and Kingdom Hearts Recoded, which is another HD cutscene compilation. It also has Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, which is Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD, Kingdom Hearts X back cover as a movie, and Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep. Kingdom Hearts 3 plus Remind is also Kingdom Hearts 3 plus the Remind DLC. If that sounds confusing, it is. Kingdom Hearts Collection 1 to 3 is all games from all of these bundled into one, and that's what I'm going to be getting for the Switch. But yeah, Vash, so Kingdom Hearts, I don't know how familiar you are with Kingdom Hearts.
You know, I've never played the games. I know it's crazy, but I know that the fandom is very, very enthusiastic about this specific franchise right there. It's a little bit, you know, it's got a niche, but it's a very, very loud niche. And a lot of people have been hoping for updates on Kingdom Hearts 4 for years and years and years. So really, really hoping for a big showcase here at D23. And I know a lot of people are very, very excited about the prospect of this. So it's very, very cool from the theme parks standpoint. Hey, it would be kind of cool to get maybe integration of the theme parks themselves into all of this. I know they don't traditionally do that, but Kingdom Hearts 3 actually featured
for years, for decades now. People have been asking for Kingdom Hearts in the parks.
Right. And I think it'd be phenomenal, right? It'd be a great way to leverage that, you know, your park's brand and so forth. And I know they've had references to like Big Thunder Mountains and you know, Mad Tea Party and all of that with what the attraction flow mechanic.
Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, they've done that as well. Like those were like they were almost like summons in the game, like they were like special attacks that you could do.
Right.
Were based off the theme park attractions, which was really neat.
Which is super cool, but to actually have the setting take place, maybe at a theme park, that would be very, very cool. So I'm extremely excited about this, and I'm hoping that Kingdom Hearts 4, when eventually is released, will be available on the widest subset of platforms possible, so I can play it because I'm a PC guy.
Yeah, I don't know about PC, but I mean, I'm actually excited to get it for Switch because then I can actually take it handheld, which would be really fun.
That's nice. Yeah.
But now, Vash, I am obviously a massive Kingdom Hearts fan. If you look at my background behind me, I am surrounded by 2 Keyblades. We have right here is Sora's Keyblade, and if you could see over here, this is actually Mickey's Keyblade, which is the Keyblade from the Realm of Darkness. So
fantastic.
Yes. So I'm very, very excited for this. Now, here's the thing. Kingdom Hearts is a very confusing story. Like, it is overly confusing. So many kids like tried to play Kingdom Hearts because they're like, oh, it's Donald Duck and Goofy. This is going to be fun. And they're like, wait, what? Because it has got one of the most confusing narratives ever. And from game to game, it changes. It is wildly, wildly confusing. Even a lot of adults have to like watch videos sometimes to be like, what the heck did I just watch? Or did I just play? Kingdom Hearts has also, though, had some really like intense moments with some Disney characters, which really surprised me. So there is, in Kingdom Hearts 2, there's a scene where Goofy dies.
Yes, I have seen this cutscene before. I know exactly what you're talking about right there.
In the cutscene, one of the Heartless blows like a chunk off of a mountain, and it's falling toward Mickey. And Goofy screams, "Look out!" And he shoves Mickey out of the way, and it hits Goofy in the head. And he goes down, and he's like still, and he's like gone. And Sora and Donald are like over him, like pushing on his chest and trying to wake him up. And Sora's like, this can't be happening. And Mickey is standing over there and he goes, Goofy. And then like all of a sudden, like Mickey's fist clenches and just starts shaking. And he goes, and he's wearing a black cloak at the time, and he just goes, they'll pay for this. And he pulls off the cloak, and he's wearing like his like battle gear, and his keyblade appears in his hand, and he goes charging off into battle. And then Donald, who's leaning over Goofy, screams and grabs up his wand and like sprints at the Heartless, like ready to like cave in heads.
This is intense.
And then in the next scene, after you've done this battle where you literally fight 1,000 Heartless, Goofy just shows back up. He's like, hey guys. I'm like, wait, what? And he goes, oh, shucks, fellers, I get hit in the head all the time. And it was such a weird thing. It was such a weird thing. I loved it.
What is going on?
Yep.
That's
so
wild.
then in Kingdom Hearts 3, the team gets ambushed by Terra Xehanort. And to fight back, like he's taking out everybody. And Donald like powers up. And he hits him, and like Goofy sees what he's doing, and like he's surrounded by all these like magical glyphs and stuff like that. And Goofy's like, Donald, no! And Donald does this spell called Zeta Flare, which in Final Fantasy is like the ultimate magic. And he does it, and he takes out Terra Xehanort with it, and then dies. Like he does it, and he's like. So like the beam happens, and then Donald is like pointing the wand at the sky, and he's just still, and then all of a sudden he just falls forward and dies. And he comes back to life because you turn back time. But both Goofy and Donald Duck have died in this game.
I mean, that's pretty. It's pretty dark. But
actually, in the Remind DLC, there's actually a really cool fight that you do as Mickey, where like he's like beaten, and he's like the last one standing. It's basically like Captain America at the end of Endgame, essentially. And he has to, you're like walking with him through it, and you have to like channel all the energy and like fight back, and it's insane. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts is intense, man. It really is. You know, there are Disney worlds in each game. Kingdom Hearts 1, you go to Tarzan, which sucks. Wonderland, which sucks worse. Then there's Agrabah, there's Halloween Town, there's Atlantica, which is actually my favorite of that game because it's definitely the most interesting. And you get Ariel as a party member in that. So Ariel actually fights.
Ooh.
She uses a lot of magic, and she like hits with her fin. You get Aladdin obviously in Agrabah, you get Tarzan in Deep Jungle, you don't get anybody in Wonderland. You just keep Donald and Goofy. They also have Olympus Coliseum, where again Hercules is there, but you actually fight Hercules in one of the tournaments. Yeah,
fantastic.
And then I'm trying to remember. Oh, and Neverland, you get Peter Pan in your party at Neverland. You can fly there too, which is pretty cool.
Well, there you go. I like the inclusion of classic stories, original stories, and classic characters. Pretty cool.
And then in Kingdom Hearts 2, you go back to Agrabah, and then you do like the Return of Jafar storyline. Atlantica is in it, but it's like a musical mini game. And then you go back to Halloween Town, but you have Christmas Town this time also. And then you go to Mulan, Beauty and the Beast with Beast's Castle, where the Beast joins your party, and he's awesome. You can get the Beast in another level in Kingdom Hearts 1 also. Lion King is great. Pirates of the Caribbean, which in 2 is terrible, but in 3 is awesome. Like in 3, it's the best world. And then in 3, you get, it's all the 3D ones. It's like Tangled, Frozen, Monsters Incorporated, Toy Story. So yeah, there's a whole lot of cool stuff. You do Stitch in Birth by Sleep. You do all the princess ones in Birth by Sleep too. You do Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella. So yeah, it's a pretty awesome game, Vash. And Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm excited that we're getting information about it so soon, because Kingdom Hearts 3 took like 15 years to come out after Kingdom Hearts 2. It was mildly insane how long you had to wait for Kingdom Hearts 2. For Kingdom Hearts 3, I mean. But I mean, there were like midway games that came out between then. You had Dream Drop, you had Birth by Sleep, you had Recoded, Chain of Memories, all this other stuff. So yeah. So yeah, I love it. The gameplay is really fun. Kingdom Hearts 1 can be a little wonky with the camera, but once you get into Kingdom Hearts 2, man, it is awesome. It is absolutely awesome. And some of the side games like Chain of Memories, just go on YouTube and watch like a cutscene compilation to get that story. But like the stories from everything matters, essentially.
Of course.
Stories matter. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4 should be good. Now the rumors are Kingdom Hearts 4 will take you to Star Wars for the first time. I have heard rumors of Marvel as well. I've heard rumors of a Thanos boss fight in Marvel would be amazing. I would assume Moana is on the list because, it's such a big thing. Maybe you get like Moana and Maui in your party. Because in Kingdom Hearts 3, you started getting you could get 2 characters in your party, and you didn't have to swap out Donald or Goofy. Like you get both Woody and Buzz in your party in 3. You can get both Flynn Rider and Rapunzel. So there's a lot going on in these games, Vash. Whole heck of a lot. Actually, I thought you were going to get Elsa or Anna in your party in Frozen. You don't. You actually get Marshmallow.
Oh, that's cool. I kind of like that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
you're
really
fighting
neat.
with him.
Mm-hmm.
Big old guy.
And then
pretty cool.
You have a combination also of Disney villains and like original Square Enix villains. So it's really cool. I highly recommend it. And I can't wait to see what they're going to unveil at D23. Thank you for indulging my fanboy moment. I love Kingdom Hearts. I have always loved Kingdom Hearts. I will always love Kingdom Hearts. It is one of my all-time favorite games. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for it at D23 this year. All right, James All Day TV checking in for $5. Kingdom Hearts should be in the Disney parks. Plus, it would be a good way to respond to Nintendo World in Epic Universe. Yeah, or at least just so I meant to bring this up during the actual segment, but I forgot. Over in the parks, you get I know at Oogie Boogie Bash they've done Donald, Goofy, and Mickey from Kingdom Hearts as a meet and greet. But Sora, and I believe Sora was in Disneyland at one point as a meet and greet. But actually, I think Sora's been there a few times. The first time he was a face character, and then I think he was a head character after that.
I thought the Kingdom Hearts characters and Kingdom Hearts versions of the actual Fab Five have been on and off meet and greets for special events and so forth. So
yeah,
that's happened.
Disney World,
the parks
Walt Disney World doesn't. Yeah, Walt Disney World never gets them because it would cause. It would Central Florida would sink into the ocean with the commotion that it would cause.
It's a fair point.
Yeah. Ninja Pat for $10. 4 needs Atlantis, The Lost Empire, World Treasure Planet, Marvel, Star Wars original trilogy to be the best of the series. I would love to see all of those. I don't think you'll see Atlantis or Treasure Planet, but I do think you'll see. I think you'll see Marvel, and it'll be a Thanos thing. It'll be Thanos trying to get the Infinity Stones, and you'll fight Thanos in the end. And I think it will be Star Wars will be the original trilogy. You'll end up fighting Vader. So, and Star Wars I think is almost a sure thing at this point. So
I would think so. Hopefully. Possibly.
Yeah, you'd think. Let's see. A lot of people were hoping for Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts 3, but that obviously didn't happen. Kingdom Hearts 3, people did not like Kingdom Hearts 3 very much, which is strange to me because I liked it. I thought it was fine. There wasn't a lot of Final Fantasy stuff in there, which I get why people didn't like that. I was a little disappointed about that as well, but At the end of the day, I still enjoyed the game for what it was. But Vash, we have got one more story to get to, and it's a doozy. So let's get into it right here.
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
Looks like one of the titans of Imagineering is stepping down from the Walt Disney Company amidst a giant expansion of the theme parks. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Tom Fitzgerald has retired from Walt Disney Imagineering. We're going to talk about it today in That Park Place. Vash, Tom Fitzgerald, a name that anyone who's followed Disney Imagineering should probably know quite well. I see here, veteran for more than 46 years with the company. Disney artist Eric Robertson posted photos on LinkedIn this week from what he described as Tom's retirement party at WDI. Robertson said he spent time at Imagineering and attended the celebration, sharing several photos from the event in his post. Disney has not made a statement about Fitzgerald's retirement, and no other details are available right now. Fitzgerald joined WED Enterprises, now known as Walt Disney Imagineering, in 1979. Now, over his career, he worked on many of the attractions and shows, from the parks, including Star Tours, as well as creative director for Star Tours: The Adventures Continue, the 2006 revamp of Pirates of the Caribbean, updates to Tower of Terror, Cinemagique, Soaring Around the World, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Muppet Vision 3D, and It's Tough to Be a Bug. In 1989, he became the executive producer of Theme Park Productions, the division that handles the film and video for Disney parks. In 2001, he added the role of executive vice president and senior creative executive for Walt Disney Imagineering, leading creative direction for Disneyland Resorts and Disneyland Paris. More recently, he held the titles portfolio executive, creative director, and chief storytelling executive at Imagineering. His recent projects included Soaring Across America, that's really popular, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and you may also recognize him from Disney Plus productions like Behind the Attraction and The Most Magical Story on Earth, 50 Years of Walt Disney World. Vash, I am going to say something a little controversial right here.
Go ahead, please.
Good riddance.
I don't think that's controversial at all, to be honest with you.
I can't stand this guy. So here's the thing.
Okay, please. Go ahead.
We're going to get a little in the weeds here, guys.
Oh, yes.
On this show, who we believe one of the greatest Imagineers of all time is Mr. Tony Baxter. The guy's a legend. And this guy right here has long been rumored to be his arch nemesis.
Yes.
The guy who, when Tony Baxter's team gets so they ran separate teams. Tony Baxter had a team, Tom Fitzgerald had a team. And the rumor was always that if Tony Baxter's team got an idea, or got a project greenlit, Tom Fitzgerald's team would start creating blue sky concepts to try to take it over. And the other rumor that we've heard is that Tom Fitzgerald would try to go back into iconic Tony Baxter attractions and make changes to them to kind of like take the Tony Baxter-ness out of those attractions. Bash, I'm
correct.
For the same thing.
I mean, I've seen it, right? So, I mean, you can think of Journey into Imagination. The original version, obviously, it was a team effort for sure, but Tony Baxter definitely leading that project. And then what happens in the 1990s? Tom Fitzgerald comes in and gives us version 2, which
ruins it.
Yeah, everybody dislikes greatly right there. Star Tours, right? And this was a project that Tom Fitzgerald and Tony Baxter actually worked on together right there to bring the original Star Tours to life, at being the 1987 version at Disneyland. Well, Tom Fitzgerald would obviously take the lead on Star Tours: The Adventures Continue, and a lot of the Tony Baxter-ness may be removed from that as well. Now, I will say, as far as attractions go, or updates, I will for specific attractions, I'm not that displeased with Star Tours: The Adventures Continue, but there was a very unique charm with the original concept of that attraction right there that maybe had gotten lost with the updates. C'est la vie. That's the way those things go. Speaking of French, Disneyland Paris, right? Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I also don't mind Tom Fitzgerald's updates to Pirates of the Caribbean, adding Captain Jack Sparrow into it. It made sense.
Yeah, so that's a little bit more controversial. I do agree with you, Marvin. I think overall handled about as well as you can. And again, if it's going to be a company initiative, they were going to get Jack Sparrow into that attraction. So it comes down to, okay, Tom Fitzgerald's the guy in that instance, and I think did a pretty decent job. I think there was some restraint in many of those inclusions right there, but obviously, you have people that have taken umbrage with that version of the attraction. Speaking of classic attractions, though, Phantom Manor, obviously, Tony Baxter having a lot of say in leading the project for Disneyland Paris. And when Phantom Manor is updated, well, Tom Fitzgerald actually handles that update, and a lot of people have said that attraction has been quote-unquote ruined since his inclusion of various technologies and so forth. Updated the classic Haunted Mansion on both coasts with the inclusion of, was it Constance Hatchway right there? So,
right.
When you look at all of these things, right, there is something to be said about this back and forth between Tony Baxter and Tom Fitzgerald. There's something going on there that I think a lot of people looking at these attractions and just seeing the name. It's okay, please.
I would love some insider information about that, but we don't have any. It's just kind of whatever the rumor is there. But honestly, this Fitzgerald, like, we've heard it from enough like places throughout the Disney fandom where, like, it's if it's fake, then it is the greatest fake rumor of all time, because it permeates so much, and it's pretty much taken as fact by everyone.
It's infamous. I mean, I remember hearing about this rumor between the scuffle between Tony Baxter and Tom Fitzgerald. I mean, this was well over 20 years ago, when I was, on the Mice Chat forums and everything like that, which maybe my old post still exists up there. I don't know. That's very interesting. But if you look through the chatter on various forums, on various social media platforms, on the old communications methodologies that we used to employ in the internet, it goes back that far, that Tom Fitzgerald and Tony Baxter really had it out. For one reason or other, I don't quite know why that is and so forth. I'm not quite sure, but it just seemed like Tom Fitzgerald was constantly subverting Baxter laden projects right there, which is a real shame, because I think what they did together on Star Tours was awesome. Would have loved to have seen them work together in a great relationship going forward. Maybe like Tony Baxter and Bruce Gordon actually enjoyed. But that did not happen here. And
the thing with Tom Fitzgerald, though, Vash, is you never heard about Tony Baxter trying to sabotage Tom Fitzgerald projects.
No.
But you always heard about Tom Fitzgerald trying to sabotage Tony Baxter.
Right. And I know Tony rubbed people the wrong way occasionally. Given
talented people tend to do that because they're talented and people get jealous.
That's true. But I mean, the issue of credit has always been at the heart of so much in the Walt Disney Company. This going back to Walt's day, actually, where Walt took all the credit for so much of what actually came from the Walt Disney Company, in its formative years, especially. And we can also say that Walt had a big time influence in all of that. But as the years went on, and as certain personalities were starting to develop, there were some issues there for sure. And when it came to Tony, one of the things I will say is that, and what I've heard is, people will credit him with certain creative projects, right? And they'll give maybe all the credit to him versus, highlighting the individuals who were really a big part of what made those projects the things we've loved for so long.
This is what it is when you're the lead on a project. It's your project. Like, I'm sure lots of people worked on Disney's Animal Kingdom, but Joe Rohde gets most of the credit. Like,
exactly, right. And so, does a personality attempt to maximize that, or do they attempt to maybe share the credit around? It's always been very interesting to see. Creatives is certainly, as prominent as some of these Imagineers that we're talking about, kind of navigate those waters right there. I don't know if that's, that has something to do with it, but I've always kind of heard that, and maybe Tom Fitzgerald really took umbrage with Tony's approach when it came to that. I'm not sure, but there was definitely something here. And like you said, it was
Like,
always
that's
Tom.
a torch. That's a torch that he has held for decades now, which is like really, really weird. If it's just like, hey, I don't like the like, you know, credit or whatever. I mean, to hold that to try to like sabotage this dude's projects for how many years over something that petty, like, man, that's pretty insane.
It's so
So
weird.
yeah, honestly, but the other part of this story, Vash, that's interesting is that
Yeah.
someone who is one of the creative leads of Imagineering would be leaving in the middle of Cars Land, Villains Land, Encanto, you know, Tropical Americas, the Indiana Jones attraction, so much being constructed right now, and he leaves during that. Does that tell you that maybe he hasn't been as involved over the last few years?
Well, I mean, he did manage, what is it, Cosmic Rewind. That was very, very recently.
Yeah.
His last project being Soaring Across America. Perhaps, in fact, you know, Disney was shifting him towards these kind of smaller projects in the midst of these larger ones actually taking place for one reason or another. Maybe Tom Fitzgerald kind of thought, hey, you know what? Perhaps there really is no future for me here. Maybe he skedaddles as the company places emphasis on new talent rather than legacy talent for one reason or another. You know, we've seen Kevin Rafferty leave, Kim Irvine. Oh, go ahead, please.
Right. Oh, well, when you say new talent, Vash, do you mean people like this?
And so what we've tried to do is really bring that shape language from the architecture.
But like what we love to talk about at WDI is shape language. And we often refer to shape language.
There's such iconic shape language in Spaceship Reverie attraction. We really wanted to make sure that we fused to that throughout the space.
You know, this is a fair point. Perhaps I'm stretching the talent verbiage right there.
Well, no, I
when it
believe that
comes to
Disney.
Saatchi.
I believe that's the talent that Disney wants. I believe Disney wants
Right.
people like this.
And Dreamer's Point is the antithesis of the idea that Walt had this incredible optimism and hope for the future, that if we all work together and we all dream together, we could build the impossible and make it our reality.
These are the people that Disney want. They want female, Gen Z, or younger millennial Imagineers who are going to talk about shape language and build bars. That's about all they want right now.
I think so. I think that's those are the Imagineers they're most interested in, if we can even call them that. It's crazy. The people working there right now. I look. That's not to say that everybody, you know, is well, what is it? Not up to par here, or I should say, worthy of the Imagineering title. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's just so many people that I really do have questions about. And so, even though Tom Fitzgerald, I mean, his projects were so like up and down. You know, obviously the Tony Baxter Subversion projects we've talked about at length, but his focus and reliance on screens and technology. You would think that Tom Fitzgerald would be perfect for a Bruce Vaughan era WDI, but apparently no, that's not the case. And for every single Pooh's Honey Hunt, there's. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, like, do you think that you know, this was sudden? Do you think he might have been fired? Because Kim Irvine, I believe her retirement was like widely promoted, right? Like all of a sudden this was just like, oh, hey, by the way, we had Tom's retirement party last week. Like, that seems a little odd.
For 47 years.
Yeah.
Good.
And like all of a sudden, you know, it sounds to me like it might have been pretty sudden. And they were like, hey, let's take Tom out to dinner. I mean, we don't know if that's what happened. Obviously, we could be completely wrong about that. But there's definitely a major difference between how Tom Fitzgerald's retirement is or seeming retirement has been treated here and how Kim Irvine's was treated.
It's so weird, right? And Tom Fitzgerald, known as a company man, so you would have thought that the Walt Disney Company would have highlighted this in such a way that would have made it more impactful, I suppose. But like you said, it's very unceremonious, and that raises questions about what actually happened here. 47 years is a little bit weird to walk out on as well. Why didn't you walk out at 50? Especially right now when you have so many projects in the pipeline. And we couldn't actually have Tom Fitzgerald join any of these or you know, shepherd any of these projects. It's just kind of weird, just kind of bizarre how this whole thing is playing out here. There's no question about that. I don't know if he was forced out, but but the timing is suspicious. You know, why would anybody leave during this time of all times? I don't know. We keep hearing $60 billion worth of investment in the experiences division, and yet we have certain key members, like maybe certain president of Walt Disney World and now Tom Fitzgerald, doing the opposite.
Absolutely, Vash. Absolutely. So, yep, Tom Fitzgerald. You know, he's had a great career in the Walt Disney Company, but at the end of the day, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
The shadow grows. We must act. The enemy has found the roost. Our arrows are ready, but we need a plan. Then we fly to Mordor. Flock for the plan. By the line of roost. Take that, you brave. What have they done?
Whisper tales of fire and frost. Shadows rise where the borders are lost. Through the woods where the ancient ones sing, I hear the call of the
in the countryside and you see chicken, try to look a chicken in the eye with great intensity, and the intensity of stupidity that is looking back at you is just amazing.
Every time. It gets me every time.
Fantastic.
Oh. When the little chickens are like, if I've managed to make it straight faced through the entire thing, and we get to the scene where the little chickens in the armor are jumping at him, he's got this smile on his face and he's just swinging the sword at them. Everyone, was like, we already know what's happening to Marvin, right? They all know that I'm laughing my butt off. I cannot watch. I've seen that thing 87 times, and I laugh like that every single time. James All Day TV for $5 says, "How do you think Joe Schott will do as Walt Disney World president?"
You know, I thought about this, and Joe Scott, I'm very hopeful that he undoes some of the bad press in terms of the operation at Walt Disney World Resort. You know, right now, Marvin, everybody, you know, when you look at the hospitality of Walt Disney World Resort, it's not the most hospitable it's ever possibly been, right? With restrictions on travel, with restrictions on, you know, visiting these resorts and so forth, with restrictions on bus travel and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like, it just gives you a bad feeling. And I'm hoping that Joe Scott, you know, is like, hey, you know, instead of taking this tact of this low friction approach, let's go ahead and invest in our infrastructure. Let's invest in, you know, providing this great guest experience that we used to be known for. I'm hopeful that, you know, we're in a new era here with Joe Scott, but I'm not sure if it's going to be change for the better or more of the same.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I also don't know how it can get much worse. So, I mean, I guess it could always get worse, right?
Well, yeah, it obviously could. I just don't know quite what Thomas Moslem is looking for when it comes to the Walt Disney World president position, and that's kind of what worries me. Are they looking for more like revenue? Are they looking for, you know, higher gains and so forth? Are they looking for higher attendance? Or are they looking for a better guest experience in which that will meaningfully be beneficial for the business long term? I'm not quite sure.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point. Packing Protons for 5 says, did Pro keep in the take of Marv laughing during the chicken bit? I didn't know Pro had a take of that, but I cannot with that. Like, you were answering James Alday TV's like question, and I was still laughing at Lord of the Rings. I just keep imagining these round little chickens like with armor on. Oh man, Pro.
Oh boy,
Pro outdid himself on that one. All right, Vash. Well, what do you got going on Vash Sky Parkcast today? Because we're going to be redirecting to you in just a few minutes.
Absolutely. Oh man, what don't we have going on Vash Sky Parkcast? My goodness gracious, there's been so many amazing stories right here. No, we covered so many of them here on that Park Place. No question about that. With a lovely hosting by Marvin right there. I want to go ahead and say a big thank you to him for hosting this and the opportunity on this. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. But we have obviously Ozzy Osbourne coming to HHN. That's going to be fantastic. I got to feature it once more because I'm such an Ozzy Osbourne fan. But we have perhaps no water at Disneyland. Yes, for a period of anywhere between 6 to 12 hours at Disneyland Resort. Well, you couldn't get water at key areas. Now, what happens when 60,000 people have no access to running water or the restaurants themselves because of health codes? Well, we're about to find out, and it's going to be a doozy. We also have the cast member crash out of the century. This guy who jumps into the rivers of America and just starts swimming around right there at Disneyland. It was very, very interesting, to say the least. And the fact that it was a cast member, well, it makes it very, very big-time news right there. We also have the launch of a new coaster called Bakunawa over there at Six Flags Great Adventure. That's going to be phenomenal to go over. And reimagining the classics. Disney had some very interesting language applied towards how they think about reconceptualizing different attraction experiences right there, and what metrics they use in order to undergo those reimaginings. Very, very interesting stuff. We're going to go through that and a whole bunch more over there on Vash Sky Parkcast. Marvin, again, thank you.
So you're saying right now at Disneyland,
why you can't open a Splash Mountain when that mountain ain't got no water.
No water.
No water.
No water.
Yes, that is a thing. Actually,
I believe Netflix is going to be making a documentary about this period of time, and they're calling it Poop Park.
Yeah, it is crazy, Marvin, to see like security guards actually stationed outside of restrooms and telling people you cannot go in there. Now multiply that throughout an entire park, and now it becomes, well, where can you go? Yes, this is where the discussions start. Very intriguing stuff. I can't believe it actually happened, but apparently it happened yesterday right there. We'll go into why those things have happened and whether or not Disney's at fault and, well, what really can you do when you're stuck in a situation like that? Because, Marvin, this was absolutely extraordinary. I just couldn't believe it, but I got the news late last night and crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking into it right now for a story on that Park Place. So we'll probably talk about it on Friday. When I believe my guest will be Tyler Dean McDowell, who you might all know from. Bob, what are you thinking? So we're going to be talking about that for a while. But there was a request for this in the chat, and I give people what they want, even when what they want is Wilton.
Go fund yourself, Bob.
But yeah, Vash, so over on the M4 Empire, we've got a lot going on right now. Our 8,000 subscriber celebration tomorrow night at 8 p.m. over on the M4 Empire channel. So make sure you guys check that out. We're going to have some games that we're going to play. It's going to be a huge event. So please be there. We are almost at 9,000 actually already. We're at over 8,600. So really hoping we can hit that 10K by Christmas time. That is my goal. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we can actually do it. So 3 videos a day coming out on the M4 Empire now. So make sure you're checking those out as well. We have one out right now about whether or not Disney is trying to sabotage the merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers. We also have a few more coming out later today, even one about Halo, which is and tonight on that Game Place at 11 p.m. ish. After the pro show and after Geeks and Gamers Play, I'm going to be playing Halo Campaign Evolved to just see how bad it is on that gameplay. So make sure you check that out. Other than that, and of course the M4 Cast AM every single Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. on the M4 Empire. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we would appreciate it very, very much. All right, we are sending you over to the Vash Sky Parkcast right now for even more amazing theme park news. So thank you guys very much, and please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.